Now, to discuss this story, eNCA's Tshegohaco Moagi joins us live. Tshegohaco, good morning.
Good morning, Tanta.
Tshegohaco, now that some of these computers or some of these laptops and tablets have been found, this must be a relief for the Tsakani community.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great relief because you do know that they've actually found it within about a week since these things were stolen. But it's not the full set of items that have been taken. About 185 tablets were taken and only 16 have been found at this point. But they are going through to the Johannesburg Central Police Station just to be assessed and to check for fingerprints, of course. And a few suspects have already been arrested. And just speaking about the police's investigation, do we have more information about any leads that the police might have? There isn't really much information at this point in Tlantla, but I think it also is to keep it as hush as possible, for lack of a better word, and just to keep it under wraps, just so that they can actually catch all the suspects that they think could be part of this particular syndicate. I mean, it is a big situation that happened in Tsakani. Community members did meet, and they did also have a few things to say about what exactly took place on that particular day. Very angry community, saying that they cannot believe that this actually happened to their school because there are CCTV footage cameras. And there are also security or patrollers that are actually in the vicinity. So they're quite disappointed as to what happened. But the police really have not really given us much. But they have said that they have arrested about 4 suspects. And what was the community's involvement with the police's investigation? The main thing was there's a man within the Tsakani community, within the particular school, Menzi Primary, that actually they go to him as the guy that is always available to find these kind of things when things go missing. So they went to him, and I think he then spoke to the police. And on the day of the meeting, there was a large police presence just to show that they are actually sweeping the scene still, just to find out what exactly happened. So there is a great communication that happens between the community members, and also the police. And this particular man, he also speaks quite a bit to the police about particular leads that he might actually have found, or just hearing certain information. I mean, he did say as well that he knows where the one tablet was. It was sold for about 180 Rand, and he knows where it is at this point in time, and he's given the police that information. And when Panyazali Sufi was there, the Gauteng MEC of Education, he did also say that he must then hand himself to the police, that he can give the police as much information as he can about the community and about these stolen items. So some of these items were found at an appliance shop, I understand, in the Joburg CBD. That is correct. We saw images on social media from the Gauteng Education Department. This is a particular appliance shop. We don't know much about it, but obviously this is then the best place to then send things like this when they are stolen, because nobody's going to buy stolen goods without actually having the full package of it. But what is quite interesting is that a lot of the community members think that it was an inside job, because it does seem like they went into the school and they knew exactly where to go to get these items, and now suddenly they are found in the Joburg CBD. I mean, Joburg CBD and Tsakani, it's quite a distance to drive. So the people did know where I also understand and believe that they did know where they were going when they took these appliances, and perhaps this particular Joburg shop actually does take these kind of stolen goods because it does sell it off at much lower market value. And speaking about what the community is saying, there was a meeting that was held during the course of the week. What were some of the talking points? What were some of the pressing issues that were raised during that meeting? The big thing for them is security. They understand that there are patrollers, but they feel like they need some security guards on the premises. They spoke a lot about how they need SGB to actually, the school governing body, to be completely involved with the operations at the school, because the chairperson of the SGB was also there. And there was a bit of unhappiness with her, saying that why did she not contact the principal instead of contacting this particular man within the community that actually is able to find these things. And she then had to stand up for herself as well, saying that it was a safer option to contact this particular guy, because he would then have come with people to try and find these items. So the community really quite upset at what had taken place. But it doesn't seem like anything was broken into physically. So it does seem like these are people that knew where things were, and this is also something that was voiced by the community. They did say that they feel like this was an inside job, and they want to understand how certain people within the patrol unit were actually assigned to this particular school.
Now, Gauteng government officials have also visited the area and somewhat raised a lot of concern, especially around matters around security at the school. MEC Sizakele Nkosi-Molobane also visited the area. What did she say about this whole matter?
Well, she spoke a lot actually yesterday in Heidelberg about how there's certain issues why people actually do take these things, and it's a problem for the schools because obviously then it sets the school back. When she was in Heidelberg yesterday, she spoke a lot about how gangsterism is an issue in the area. She also spoke a lot about initiation schools because children then go to initiation schools. Gauteng does not have initiation schools. It has banned initiation schools. But then children go to initiation schools in the neighboring provinces, and then they get them, so when they come back, they somehow get into some form of gangsterism, which is something that she mentioned quite a bit. And she is also rather concerned about how the patrollers are being seen as security guards, and she put a big difference to that, saying that patrollers are there to just monitor the school premises and what is happening on the school grounds, whereas security guards would be there and appointed officially. So what then needs to happen is there need to be security guards and or security company appointed to various schools that has got a high number of gangsterism or a high number of vandalism and theft. And what then needs to happen is they then need to be paid by the Gauteng Education Department or obviously then by the security company, but the patrollers cannot be seen as security guards. They are there just to ensure that things are working smoothly on the school premises.
And in closing, Tshegohaco, what were some of the interventions that were discussed to help stop such a situation from reoccurring again?
You know, the big thing in Ntantla is they are really calling on communities to work together, to, if things like this happen, that they catch the perpetrators as soon as possible, or if they have got information that they catch the perpetrators as soon as possible. I spoke to one official from the Department of Community Safety in Gauteng, and he said the big issue is most of these people are known and they are within the community when they do steal equipment from the various schools. The Heidelberg school has had things like stoves and pots stolen. So children on Monday, when they went back to school, they didn't have anything to eat because there's no stove to make food for them. So the big intervention that they're talking about is really trying to find a way to integrate patrollers and security guards. I think it's a really big thing for them, and also just ensuring that each school has got CCTV footage.
Well, thank you very much. That was our reporter, Tshegohaco Moagi, coming to us live on the situation in Tsakane.